The moment someone tries to control you, they reveal their weakness. Picture this: you're in a conversation. Someone throws an accusation, a subtle manipulation, a power play disguised as concern. They're testing you, probing for soft spots, looking for the reaction that confirms you're controllable. And here's what most people do. They respond. They explain. They defend. They try to prove their innocence, their worth, their intentions, and in that exact moment, they've already lost the game. Because the world doesn't judge you by the truth of your character. It judges you by the strength of your frame. Niccolo Machiavelli understood something that modern society has tried to erase from your consciousness. Power is not about being right. It's about being unshakable. It's about creating a psychological fortress so impenetrable that attacks don't just bounce off, they dissolve before they even reach you. Most people walk through life as emotional puppets. Someone pulls the string of guilt, they apologize. Someone pulls the string of anger, they react. Someone pulls the string of validation, they perform. They live in a constant state of reactive defense, trying to prove they're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. It's exhausting, it's suffocating, and it's exactly what keeps them powerless. But there's a different way, a way of moving through the world with such calculated detachment, such sovereign control, that manipulators can't find a single thread to pull. Today, we're going to dismantle the psychology of control. We're going to explore the dark intelligence that separates the players from the pieces. And by the end of this, you'll understand why the most dangerous person in any room is not the one who talks the most, but the one who reveals the least. This isn't about becoming cold. This isn't about being cruel. This is about understanding the game that's being played around you every single day and learning to play it better than anyone else. Because once you see the strings, you can never go back to being a puppet. Let's begin. The illusion of goodness. Why your kindness is being weaponized. Here's a truth that will make you uncomfortable. Your goodness is being weaponized against you. Right now, as you read this, there are people in your life who have learned that your kindness is predictable. They know you won't say no. They know you won't fight back. They know you'll always give them another chance. And they're using that knowledge to drain you dry. Think about the kindest person you know. Now ask yourself, are they truly respected? Or are they the person everyone calls when they need something? There's your answer. Being consistently good doesn't make you safe. It makes you a target. When you're always available, always helpful, always understanding, you don't become valuable. You become expected. Your exceptional kindness transforms into their baseline normal. Machiavelli watched this pattern destroy good leaders throughout history. He saw kind rulers overthrown. He witnessed generous people betrayed by the very ones they helped, and he wrote it all down as a warning. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. You've been trying to survive as a sheep in a world full of wolves, and that's exactly why you keep getting hurt. The generosity trap works like this. First time you help someone, they're grateful. Second time, they're thankful. 10th time, they expect it. And the moment you stop, the moment you finally set a boundary, you become the villain in their story. They don't remember the 9 times you said yes. They only remember the 1 time you said no. This is human psychology. We adapt to good treatment. We take it for granted. What once felt special becomes normal. What once felt generous becomes expected. Your repeated acts of kindness lose their power over time. They become invisible. But your single act of refusal, that stands out like a red flag. That's what they focus on. That's what they complain about. Let me give you a real example. There was a manager, the best team leader you could imagine. He always helped his team, always covered for them, always put their needs first. He thought he was building loyalty. He thought he was earning respect. But when the promotion came, they gave it to someone else. Why? Because nice people don't look like leaders. They look like servants. People don't respect your goodness when it's unlimited. They exploit it. The same pattern repeats in friendships. You always pick up the check at dinner. You always drive everyone around. You always help people move. At first, they appreciate it, but eventually, they stop saying thank you. They just assume you'll handle it. And if you ever need them to return the favor, suddenly they're too busy. Your constant generosity didn't build loyalty. It built an addiction. People became addicted to your giving. And like any addict, They get angry when their supply is cut off. Strategic goodness, the weapon you've been ignoring. Now, I'm not telling you to become heartless. I'm not saying mercy, honesty, and generosity should be thrown away. What I'm saying is this: these virtues must be used like weapons, precisely at the right time for maximum effect. A sword sitting on a shelf doesn't protect anyone, but a sword in the hands of a skilled warrior at the right moment can save a kingdom. Before you say yes to any request, ask yourself 3 questions. Does this align with my values and goals? Can I do this without depleting myself? Will this person appreciate and respect what I'm doing? If the answer to any of these is no, you don't just say no. You say no kindly but firmly, without explanation, without justification. When you do say yes, you do it fully, you give your best effort, you create real value, you make a meaningful difference. This way, your yeses matter, your help is remembered, your generosity creates loyalty instead of entitlement. This is strategic virtue. It's not about being selfish, it's about being effective. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't gentle with injustice, he confronted it powerfully. Think about Mother Teresa. She didn't help everyone in the world. She focused intensely on the poorest of the poor. They were all good people, but they were strategically good. They used their virtue as a tool to create change, not as a way to be liked by everyone. Machiavelli once said, "Benefits ought to be conferred gradually, and in that way they will taste better." He understood something most people never learn. Scarcity creates value. Abundance destroys it. When you help everyone a little bit, your help becomes worthless. But when you help the right people a lot, your help becomes invaluable. Instead of being nice to everyone, be exceptionally kind to those who matter. Instead of saying yes to everything, say yes powerfully to the things that align with your goals. This approach does 3 things. First, your help becomes more valuable because it's scarce. Second, you actually create bigger positive impacts because you're focused. Third, people respect you more because you're selective. You're no longer the person everyone takes for granted. You're the person whose attention is earned, not assumed. The mirror defense, reflecting power back. Let's get tactical. When a manipulator attacks, they're expecting a specific response. They want you to defend, explain, or react emotionally. That's the game they know how to play. But what happens when you don't play? What happens when you become a mirror instead of a target? The mirror defense is simple but devastatingly effective. Stop reacting emotionally and start reflecting behavior strategically. If they speak in riddles, respond with silence. If they push for answers, ask them the same question they just asked you. If they fake kindness to bait you in, match it coldly, calmly, but never deepen the emotional exchange. Why does this work? Because manipulation depends on asymmetry. They need to act, and they need you to respond. When you mirror instead of engage, the manipulator becomes unsure. They lose their advantage. They're no longer leading the dance. They're watching their moves get thrown right back at them. And most people can't stand looking at their own reflection for long. In real life, this looks like a calm stare when someone tries to provoke you. It looks like saying, "That's interesting. Why do you ask?" when someone digs for your weaknesses. It looks like mirroring their tone and words back with controlled detachment. You're not fighting them. You're showing them their own mask, and that's more unsettling than any argument could ever be. Here's a concrete example. Someone says to you, "You're being incredibly selfish right now." The old you would say, "No, I'm not. I did X, Y, and Z for you yesterday. I'm just tired." Defensive, weak, reactive. But the Machiavellian approach is different. You look at them, you hold eye contact, you don't blink. You keep your face completely neutral. You let the silence hang in the air for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Do you know what happens in that silence? It is a psychological vacuum. The human brain is terrified of silence during a conflict. It signals a rupture in the social fabric. It signals that the other person is not playing the game. When you stay silent, you are mirroring their energy back at them. You are forcing them to sit in the tension they created. Usually they will start to crumble. They will speak again to fill the void. I mean, you're not always selfish, but just right now. Or why are you looking at me like that? They start defending themselves against your silence. The power has flipped. The emotion vacuum becoming unreadable. Here's where it gets deeper. The manipulator's greatest weapon is not their words. It's your reaction. They test you with subtle digs, passive-aggressive smiles, fake praise laced with hidden insults. And the moment you flinch, defend, or over-explain, they win. Because now you're inside the emotional cage they built for you. But here's the kill shot. Remove emotion from the equation entirely. Become a vacuum, cold, silent, unreadable. When you stop reacting, they lose control. The manipulator doesn't know what move to make when the board goes still. Your silence becomes a mirror they can't stand. Your neutrality, a fog they can't navigate. When someone tries to provoke you, give them nothing. Not anger, not a smile, not even confusion, just eye contact and stillness. If they make a joke at your expense, don't laugh. Don't correct them. Let the silence expand. Let them feel the discomfort of their own game failing. This isn't about being numb. It's about being in command. Emotion is not your enemy. Public emotion is. In private, you feel everything. But in front of a manipulator, you feel nothing. Because emotion is data, and you don't give data to the enemy. Machiavelli knew that the most powerful person in the room is the one who cannot be read. If you defend, you reveal your values. You reveal what hurts you. You reveal your buttons. Think about it this way. If you shout, "I'm not stupid," now they know your insecurity is intelligence. If you say, "I'm not a bad person," now they know your insecurity is moral standing. Silence reveals nothing. It is a dark mirror, and when they look into it, they only see their own aggression reflected back. And it makes them uncomfortable. It makes them feel judged, which is ironic because you haven't said a word. This requires immense internal control because inside, your ego is screaming, "Fight back, say something clever." You must leash that dog. You must train yourself to observe your emotions without acting on them. You feel the anger, but you don't express it. You feel the hurt, but you don't show it. You become like water, formless, impossible to grasp, impossible to wound. Strategic delay, controlling time. Itself, manipulators thrive on urgency. They pressure you to answer fast, decide quickly, react immediately. Why? Because speed kills thinking. And when you're moving fast, you don't see the trap until you're already in it. This is where you break their rhythm with one of the most underrated power plays. Delay. The art of not responding when they expect it. The strategy of slowing down time so they sit in their own uncertainty. Silence isn't passive. It's surgical. Strategic delay gives you space to observe their intent, their patterns, and their desperation. And that desperation will always expose them. Let's make this real. Someone sends you a message laced with pressure. "Can you do this for me? I need an answer right now." Most people rush to please. You wait hours, maybe even a full day. You create psychological space. The manipulator starts unraveling. They begin to second-guess their power. They might double text, they might soften, or they might lash out, exposing their emotional instability. Either way, you win. Machiavelli understood the power of timing. He didn't believe in reacting. He believed in striking when it served his strategy, not theirs. You're not here to be available. You're here to be effective. Strategic delay reclaims your time, your frame, and your authority. This works in person, too. When someone confronts you, don't respond immediately. Pause, breathe, let silence speak first. That moment of hesitation becomes unsettling. They'll start to fill in the silence with their own fears, their own doubts. You're no longer on the defense. They are. You don't owe anyone instant access to your mind. Delayed response is not weakness. It's proof that you're thinking, calculating, choosing when and if to respond on your terms. Think about the most powerful people you've ever encountered. Not the loudest, not the most liked. The ones who held silence like a weapon. The ones who made you second-guess yourself just by staring. The ones who, when attacked, never flinched. They understood that whoever controls the tempo controls the outcome. And tempo is controlled through strategic timing, not through speed. Reward reversal, making them chase your validation. Manipulators bait you with two tools, praise and guilt. If they can't seduce you with compliments, they'll guilt you with obligation. Both are psychological levers. One pulls your ego, the other your conscience. And if you respond to either, you're already under control. But here's the twist. Instead of resisting the reward, you flip it. You reverse the dynamic. You stop chasing validation and make them chase yours. This is called reward reversal, one of the coldest tactics in psychological warfare. Instead of rewarding their behavior with approval, attention, or agreement, you selectively withdraw. You remove the reward manipulators seek most, emotional response. And in doing so, you change the entire power structure of the interaction. Let's break this down. When someone flatters you excessively, "You're so good at this." No one does it like you. They're trying to hook you with ego-stroking bait. Most people take it. They smile, say thank you, and feel compelled to return the favor. But when you respond with indifference, a simple nod, or better yet, a subject change, you signal one thing: I don't need your praise. I already know my value. Now the dynamic shifts. They start wondering why their compliment didn't land. They start seeking your approval instead. Now guilt. This one is trickier because it wears the mask of morality. After everything I've done for you, or you really can't help just this once. Here the manipulator is tapping into your desire to be seen as good, noble, loyal. But again, reward reversal comes into play. You shift the focus not by arguing, but by staying emotionally flat. You simply say, "Not this time," and move on. You don't explain. You don't defend, because defending guilt only makes you look guilty. Here's the core. People are addicted to validation, especially manipulators. They thrive on being seen, heard, and obeyed. When you become the source of validation and then restrict it, they spiral. You control when it's given, how it's given, and most importantly, if it's given. A powerful real-life example. During a meeting, a manipulative coworker takes credit for your work, expecting you to either explode or shrink. You do neither. Instead, you publicly compliment someone else on the team for their contribution, ignoring the manipulator completely. You've just executed reward reversal. You've denied them the reaction, denied them the spotlight, and redirected power to a place of your choosing. That's dominance without confrontation. Ambiguity, armor, the power of mystery. In a world where people share every detail of their lives on social media, controlled exposure might seem outdated, but it's actually more powerful than ever. When everyone is oversharing, the person who shares strategically stands out. When everyone is broadcasting their thoughts and feelings, the person who keeps some mystery becomes intriguing. Clarity makes you predictable. Ambiguity makes you dangerous. When they can't figure out where you stand, they can't form a plan to push you off balance. You don't owe people access to your inner world, not your goals, not your insecurities, not your next move. Manipulators thrive on the illusion of closeness. They pretend to connect not because they care, but because they want information. They want an opening. But when you become unreadable, they become ineffective. You're no longer a chessboard. You're fog. You're not an opponent they can calculate. You're a question they can't answer. Ambiguity armor begins with language. Stop giving absolute answers. Stop over-explaining. Speak in measured tones with intentional gaps. When asked, "What do you want out of this?" say, "I'm still deciding." When asked, "Where do you stand on this issue?" respond with, "It depends on how things evolve." When someone demands to know what's wrong, don't rant. Say, "I'm processing." Short, vague, calm. They'll press harder. That's normal. But your silence will make them louder. And the louder they get, the more exposed they become. Because the moment she realizes you're serious, the game changes. She knows you won't break your own rules just to keep her. She knows that if she disrespects you, she loses you. And that's when attraction becomes obsession. Not because you gave her more, but because you were willing to give nothing when your values were crossed. Another layer of ambiguity is physical presence. Watch your body language. Don't over-smile. Don't nod excessively. Don't lean in too much. When you reveal too much interest or approval through gestures, manipulators register that as leverage. Instead, give them stillness. Give them pauses. Let them wonder if they impressed you, annoyed you, or confused you. You are the enigma now, not the victim. Machiavelli advised rulers to be both lion and fox, force and cunning. Force is what you do. Cunning is what you hide. When you're ambiguous, you're not indecisive. You're untouchable. You create doubt in their mind while staying fully in control of yours. You frustrate their attempts to analyze you, predict you, or pin you down. The exit threat, walking away as power. A manipulator's power dies the second they believe you can walk away and actually mean it. Most people stay in the game too long. They argue, they plead, they try to make sense of someone's bad behavior, hoping to fix the relationship, the deal, the situation. But manipulators thrive on that emotional attachment. They bet on your fear of losing the connection. But when you stop clinging, when you stop proving, when you stop explaining yourself, you become a psychological threat. The exit threat is not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not an announcement. It's a quiet, confident possibility that you project with your presence. I'm not tied to this. I don't need this. I'm here because I choose to be. and I can leave just as easily. That idea alone dismantles most manipulators because they don't operate from true power. They operate from control through dependence. They trap you emotionally, financially, socially, so the thought of losing them feels like death. But the second you become detached, they panic. Detachment is terrifying to people who manipulate. Why? Because it makes you unreadable. You're no longer reacting to their pressure. You're not chasing their validation. You're not clinging to the relationship or the outcome. You're just there, calm, centered, and willing to disappear at any moment without warning. That is unbreakable leverage. Let's bring it down to the real world. In a toxic relationship, the manipulator guilt trips you every time you try to assert yourself. You say no, and they say, "So you don't care about me." You try to take space, and they say, "I guess I'm not a priority." The goal is to make you question your boundaries, to make you feel bad for having them. But then one day, you don't respond with explanations. You don't argue. You don't cry. You just say, "All right," and you disappear for a few days. No calls, no texts, just presence removed. That silence burns, not because you're trying to punish them, but because for the first time they feel powerless. The same silence they once used to control you has now turned against them, and they start spiraling. Or take a workplace scenario. A colleague constantly undermines you, takes credit for your work, or pressures you into carrying their weight. Most people complain. They try to reason, but the cold strategist doesn't. You document everything. You get your results. You build connections on the side. And one day, you request a transfer. Or better, you resign and walk straight into a better opportunity. You don't beg. You don't warn. You vanish with your value. That's what the exit threat is. Psychological oxygen control. You become the one who can pull the plug at any moment, and they know it. But here's the key. This tactic only works if it's real. You must truly believe that you don't need anyone's approval, that your life is not defined by the opinions or behaviors of others. The threat of leaving only has weight if you're actually willing to walk. So how do you project this without saying a word? First, through time control. Don't always be available. Don't always respond instantly. Don't always explain where you've been. Let your absence be part of your presence. Let them wonder. Second, through emotional discipline. When someone disrespects you, don't react. Don't defend. Don't even look wounded. Look calm. Look finished. Show them their behavior has no emotional pull on you anymore. Third, through financial and mental independence. If someone controls your paycheck or your living situation, they'll always think they own your behavior. Build your options in silence. Build your escape routes in private. And then when the moment comes, disappear with dignity. Machiavelli said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved when one of the two must be lacking." What most people miss is this. You don't need to scream to be feared. Sometimes the most terrifying person in the room is the one who smiles and quietly walks away with everything they built and everything you once took for granted. This tactic isn't about ghosting. It's not about being cold for no reason. It's about making sure every connection in your life is chosen, not chained. Playing dumb, the master-level strategy. Sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is the one who pretends not to see. Manipulators expect resistance. They thrive on your reactions. So when you give them nothing, no defense, no explanation, no emotion, you dismantle them silently. This is the art of playing dumb. You see the game, you recognize the trap, but you act like you don't. That alone breaks their rhythm. They insult you with a passive jab. You smile faintly, move on. They test you with a question meant to corner you. You shrug it off with disinterest. Meanwhile, you're observing everything, calculating, documenting, waiting. The power in this tactic is patience. You don't strike when they expect it. You wait until it matters. You let them think they're winning, that they've fooled you. And when they're most comfortable, you expose everything calmly, without effort. Because the real win isn't proving them wrong in the moment. It's proving they never had control in the first place. Let them believe you're blind while you quietly build the blueprint to destroy them. Most people defend themselves because they want to be understood. They believe if they just explain enough, clarify enough, repeat themselves enough, they'll be vindicated. But that belief comes from a place of emotional weakness, not strategy. You don't want clarity. You want control. Clarity is for therapy. Control is for power. And power doesn't come from being understood. It comes from being feared, respected, and untouchable. So when someone calls you arrogant, cold, selfish, manipulative, and you immediately say, "No, you don't understand," you've already lost, because now you're reacting. Now you're proving you care. Now you've put the ball in their court. The final evolution, becoming untouchable. You've now learned the framework, but knowledge without application is worthless. For the next 7 days, you're going to play a game. The game is called strategic silence. No matter what happens, no matter how small the manipulation, you are forbidden from explaining yourself unnecessarily. If someone tries to guilt you, you don't justify, you observe. If someone tries to provoke you, you don't react, you calculate. If someone tries to rush you, you don't hurry, you delay. Sit in the fire of that discomfort. Feel the urge to fix it, to manage their perception, to be the good guy, and let that urge burn to ash. Watch what happens to the people around you. Watch how they react when you stop playing the game. You will see confusion, then respect, then a strange kind of magnetism, because people are drawn to certainty, and nothing screams certainty louder than a person who does not need to explain why they exist. You are reclaiming your energy. You are plugging the leaks in your soul. You are stepping out of the role of the servant and into the role of the sovereign. The world will try to pull you back. It will try to bait you. It loves a reaction. Don't give it one. Keep your mystery. Keep your power. Keep your silence. This is not cruelty. This is survival. This is the difference between being a player and being a piece. Machiavelli knew that the bold get ahead even if they lack the skill. The hesitant stay behind, no matter how brilliant they are. Because power doesn't belong to the best. It belongs to the most certain. You're no longer playable. You've stopped being the emotional supplier to those who fed on your reactions. You've killed the instinct to fix, to please, to explain. And in its place, you've built stillness, precision, cold clarity. You now speak with intent or not at all. You walk into rooms without seeking acceptance. You make people adjust to your presence instead of adapting to theirs. And when a manipulator tries their usual tricks, you don't resist them. You dissolve them with indifference. That's real power. That's psychological dominance. You don't need approval anymore. You've replaced it with authority. You are no longer baited, no longer drained, no longer exposed. You are a ghost to those who once thought they could read you. And to a manipulator, that's the most terrifying thing of all. Someone they cannot control. If you've become untouchable, comment below. I am unreadable. I am untouchable. Not as an affirmation, but as a declaration, a line in the sand, a promise to yourself that you will never again sacrifice your power for someone else's comfort. Like this video if you're done chasing. Subscribe if you're ready to become the kind of person they can't control, can't predict, and can never forget. Because this isn't self-help, this is war, and you just became a weapon.